Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today we are here to explore the brand new Natasha Denona Pastel palette. I have had this little guy for a few days, but it got put behind some other releases. But I want to talk about it with, I hope, a little bit of a unique perspective. I want to talk about how to deal with a palette like this when you see it and it gets a little bit overwhelming. So let's discuss it. First of all, this palette is a midi palette. It's her 6th or 7th, I believe, 7th midi palette. Those are the $65 palettes, as opposed to those that are well over 100, 125, 129, I think, in this size, the bigger. So this is the midi. The new one is the midi size, which we all love this size. It's $65, which is wonderful. And you get, of course, all 15 of these shades. Natasha Denona was determined when she did this palette to make it a true, workable, beautiful pastel palette. So as you see in here, it is indeed all pastel. There's no browns or transition tans. There's some oranges and things that you could work in like this, but you are meant to get a purely pastel look out of it. We have 15 shades, but 2 are not new. So I believe it's Mint Frost right here and Limoncello are from the Tropic palette, if you guys remember that a while back. I should pull those out, but those are 2 repeats. But we also have, in among the mattes and the metallics, we have a brand new shade, which is really kind of cool. This is a translucent illusion right here, and you'll see it swatched right here, my finger's on it. It's a translucent multi-chrome shade that you can use either alone or as a top coat. We're going to use it as a top coat today. So take a look at these if you have not seen them already. Here are the shades of the Natasha Denona Midi Pastel Palette. Midi, M-I-D-I. And according to her website, it's limited edition. That you know, I don't know what that term means, but you know, it's sometimes limited edition really does mean limited edition with Natasha Denona. So we will see what happens. There was a lot of talk when this was first released. It's an interesting thing, and I've mentioned this before to you guys. We demand new, we demand new, we demand different. We must have new and different. But then we get it and we go, what am I supposed to do with that? I can't wear that. And so that is one of the things I want to talk about. First of all, what came to mind when I took out and looked at this palette was 2 things. First of all, I thought a little bit of the Circo Loco palette, and I thought a little bit of the Triachrome palette. This is a lot brighter, but some of the shades are kind of similar. This is the Circo Loco. And I thought of the Triachrome palette. You know, I thought of some of her other palettes too in terms of the pinks and things. But in terms of these bright, really kind of dramatic palettes, this is the Triachrome, and I kind of thought of that one too. But I want to look at some swatches. If I don't get the comparisons that you guys are interested in, just let me know here or over on Instagram. I use my Instagram a lot for swatch comparisons, as you know, and I could do that for you if there's anything I miss. I won't sit here and do a ton of comparisons. I kind of do the ones that pop into my head, but I'm happy to do anything that you need. You know that. I do not mind. Okay, so as we know, we have cream, powder, and mattes, metallics, duochromes, and our brand new translucent multi-chrome. Let's look at the swatches on my arm first before we go outside. Let's look at them first in studio lighting. Here are all 15 of the shades laid out on my arm. All of them there. They're so beautiful. And we're going to talk about how to use them before you are thinking you would. Don't be so sure about that, actually. Even if you're a neutral leveler, I can find ways for you to use this palette. So just stay with me. But first, let's go outside into the warm California sunshine and take a look at this outside for a little bit of a better perspective on what the shades look like. The second shade from the left is that brand new translucent multi-chrome called Illusion, right over there. So beautiful. So take a look at those outside on my arm. Then I wanted to show you, I didn't swatch the entire Circo Loco palette because not all of it was meaningful, but I want to show you here in studio lighting. Here are the same pastel palette swatches on my arm, but I put what I see as the relevant Circo Loco shades over the top. So take a look there. That's just because these are bright palettes and it kind of seemed to make a connection in my head. And then I want to show you what I saw as the relevant Triachrome palette swatches over my arm. I think these also came to mind because these are not only bright kind of editorial palettes from Natasha Denona, they're also fairly recent releases. I'm sure a lot of people wouldn't go back far enough with Natasha Denona to realize that those two are repeats from the Tropic palette. I know that because I collect all of her stuff, but some of you might not. So I didn't think of the Tropic palette, but I just wanted to pull out Triachrome and Circo Loco because they're relatively recent, just to kind of show you some of those comparisons. For a lot of people out there, especially those that are new to Natasha Denona, those two repeats would not be repeats if you don't have the Tropic palette. The Tropic palette actually isn't one of my favorites. It was kind of an underperforming Natasha Denona palette. These two shades that are repeats from it, I think actually perform really well. I have to take a look to see if they were reformulated. I don't think so though, but who knows? Okay, so what I want to do now is share with you my technique when you see a palette like this and are a little bit intimidated by it. I want to show you my way of approaching that now, and that will get us the look that I am wearing right here, which to me is a very wearable look from what some people see as a little bit of an intimidating palette. I don't think so. But let's see what you think. Stay right there. So when I am feeling a little bit out of my comfort zone, I don't mean in terms of application, I ain't afraid of no eyeshadow, but when I am feeling a little bit out of my comfort zone in terms of shades and colors, and you can sometimes feel that way with Natasha Denona, my recommendation is to start by going in kind of a monochromatic way. Natasha Denona does a really smart thing. She makes sure that she groups shadows, and you could change these around, of course, because they're magnetic. But she makes sure that she groups them in kind of groups that are easy to use together and work well together in any way. So she kind of puts them that way on purpose. But what I like to do is mix it up just a bit and kind of go for a look that is either, in this palette you can do an all pinky purple look, you could do kind of an all blue look, an all green look. You see what I'm saying there, and you can highlight with the orange or the yellow. And that's kind of what we're going to do, but I want to make sure to get illusion in there as it is the brand new formula. Okay, so now that I told you guys that, let's just kind of start. I have a selection of Sonia G brushes for us today, starting off with the Sky brush. And I'm just going to kind of start off by laying down, I think we're going to do an all pink look, you guys, because that's kind of fun. And I'll make sure to put the shade names up there for you to look at. So we're going to start right there, just at the bottom of the palette. Right there. Okay, and now we're going to continue, same brush, we're going to continue on with our kind of pinky adventure here, going into this first shade right here. And I'm just going to put that first in windshield wiper motions, here in the crease, then a little bit more. And this will be kind of a pinky purpley look. I'm not saying that we have to be so perfect. And I just did that in windshield wiper motions. Okay. Then we're going to take this, also Sonia G, and we're going to go under with that same look. And you don't have to do it this way. It's just my recommendation if you buy this for fun and then find yourself slightly intimidated by it. It happens, right? It happens to the best of us. Sticking with the pinks, we're going to go in here to the bottom, pinky purples, I should say. And I'm just going to kind of go over the lid with that. And we're getting a really pretty look. And I thought also, you guys, that this would work with that Illusion, that brand new shade. I thought these would kind of go together. And that's almost creating almost a pinky blue look. Because the shades are so interesting, and some of them are duochromes, none of the ones we put on yet, but you know what I mean? They can kind of create their own look as they go. And I think it's just kind of a simple way to do things. So we have a purple shade here and a purple shade here, both of which, and a darker shade here. Let's go into that. Let's take a Sonia G Sky brush and go into that darker shade, sticking with that pinky purple theme that I was telling you about. And let's just darken it up a little bit here on the sides. It's really pretty, and let's just even take that and go under here. And that's really, really pretty. Okay, so we have 2 of these. Let's use them both. Let's use this shade right here. Just, this is a really pretty duochrome. And we're going to go over the lid with it. So we're sticking with that kind of turning blue purple. And then we're going to take a Sonia G brush and go into this one here and put it here. And as you see, though, I'm getting a little bit of blue and whatnot from the duochrome, I'm trying to stick with all pinks and purples, and it just makes you feel a little more comfy. Now, this shade Illusion is our new formula, and I'm going to wipe my hand off and then stick my finger in it, and we're just going to use it as an overlay. You could wear this on its own, doesn't matter, or you can just kind of apply it over, and let's see what it does if you apply it over all of the shadow, just with your finger. You can use a brush, and you can wet these things too. I'm not getting that fancy, but you can. And look at what a pretty look. I mean, obviously, I need to put on some mascara, and I need to put on some eyeliner, but look already, what a doable, everyday, easy look. I'm really pleased. Stay right there. Aha. And from that, we have a very simple, beautiful, wearable eye look that comes from a palette that a lot of people said they wouldn't know what to do with. You can start experimenting, of course, but when you get it and you think, oh, I'm a little stumped, just go for kind of a monochrome look. So we have here just this kind of, I just worked with all the pinky shades, purpley pinky shades, but I was able to get that new shade in there because I wanted to play with it. Makes it super pretty, super simple, and super easy to use. So those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you thought about this. Did you stay away because it's pastel and that's not you? Or did you jump at it because it sings to spring? I know springtime is back because our little duckies are back. We have some ducks that come visit us. Every year they come and they have their babies here. 3 ducks. One is an odd man out. His name is Ian. We feel really sorry for him. But anyway, you know, he's okay. And we give them oats and they come, and that means spring is here. So I guess we know it's spring because the ducks are back. And we have the Natasha Denona Pastel palette. Let me know your thoughts below. I'm always interested to hear what you guys are doing that's fun with this palette. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I sure hope that you did. And if you haven't already done so, my goodness, make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that I don't miss you in any of the upcoming videos. And I will see you really soon. Bye-bye.